Welcome back to the news at 10. Let's take a look at some business news. And here's Anne Waudu.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thank you, Ijoma. Welcome to Business News. Let's begin with the decision by the Central Bank of Nigeria to earmark 50 billion naira to support families and businesses affected by the impact of the coronavirus in Nigeria. The CBN governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, told journalists in the nation's capital, Abuja, that 6 key initial policies will be introduced to help combat the COVID-19 scourge in the nation's economy.
All the Central Bank of Nigeria intervention facilities are hereby granted a further moratorium of 1 year on all principal repayments effective March 1, 2020. This means that any intervention loan currently under moratorium are hereby granted additional period of moratorium of 1 year. Accordingly, participating financial institutions are hereby directed to provide new amortization schedules for all facilities for their beneficiaries. 2, interest rate reduction. Interest rates on all applicable Central Bank of Nigeria intervention facilities are hereby reduced from 9% to 5% per annum for 1 year, effective March 1, 2020. 3, creation of a targeted credit facility. The CBN hereby establishes a facility through National Microfinance Bank to the sum of about 50 billion naira for households and micro, small, and medium enterprise-sized enterprises that have been particularly hit by COVID-19, including but not limited to hoteliers, airline service providers, healthcare merchants, and etc.
Nigeria's leading financial institution, Zenith Bank PLC, is declaring a dividend of 2 naira 80 kobo per share for the year ended December the 31st, 2020. The declared amount leads to a gross dividend of 87,910,184,600.80 naira. During the group's annual general meeting in Abuja, the bank also declared a profit after tax of 208.8 billion naira, achieving the feat as the first Nigerian bank to cross the 200 billion naira mark.
Shall we be seated?
Riding on the success of the 2018 financial year, shareholders of Zenith Bank PLC are in high spirits at the 29th annual general meeting of the financial institution. Several items are lined up on the agenda for the meeting, but top on the list is the declaration of the final dividend for the year.
The total dividend for the financial year ended December 31, 2019 to 2 naira 80 kobo and a gross dividend of 87,910,184,600.80 be and hereby authorized to give effect to this resolution.
The meeting considers the audited accounts for the financial year ended December the 31st, 2019. According to the bank's financial results, profit before tax grew by 5% from 232 billion naira in 2018 to 243 billion naira in 2019. Also, profit after tax rose by 8% during the period, from 193 billion naira in 2018 to 208.8 billion naira in 2019, while customers' deposits increased by 15% from 3.68 trillion naira to 4.26 trillion naira.
The bank will continue to be very efficiently managed, very efficiently run. We'll continue to create value. We won't destroy value. We won't be reckless because we want to comply with the loan-to-deposit ratio. We'll continue to remain very ethical, very disciplined and focused. So shareholders have every reason to be happy.
2 naira 80 kobo is not easy to come by, as we said earlier today, So it's a huge sort of money. We are talking about 70-something billion have been paid out. 78 billion have paid out as terms of dividend to shareholders, So I think it's an awesome, it's an amazing. That's the highest in the industry today.
The bank promises to continue to deliver quality service with cutting-edge technology, with a commitment to remain a leader in the nation's financial sector.
Let's head to the Nigerian stock market. Negative sentiments continue to prevail at the equities market today, just like other stock markets around the world, with all share index down 0.12% today. Teniola Shibawali has the details.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. The third trading week in the month of March continues its bearish trend as the all-share index declined 0.12%, with the equity cap lower at 11.832 trillion naira. The 1.13 and 0.63% increase from the insurance and banking counters could not offset losses from the oil and gas, industrial and consumer goods sector. Looking at the list of top trades, we see that shares of the Tier 1 lenders, GT Bank, FBN Holdings and Zenith Bank, were the most sought after for the day. Total turnover of 551.48 million shares worth 5.75 billion naira changed hands in almost 7,000 deals. Well, these are the top 3 gainers and losers for the day. And that's the Stock Market Report. I'm Teniola Shibawali.
Thanks a lot, Teniola. Meanwhile, stocks fell sharply across the globe today, even as the Federal Reserve embarked on a massive monetary stimulus campaign to help curb Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anne Nwawado. It's back to you, Joma.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Health authorities in the country have given the assurance that there is no new case of COVID-19 in Nigeria in the last 1 week, just as the second case, which was a contact of the index case, has been discharged from hospital. The Ministry of Health is, however, warning against any form of complacency as it adds France, Germany and Spain to the list of high-risk nations that health officials at the various ports of entries should look out for.
Following the declaration of a pandemic and increasing spread in countries, we carried out a review of our case definition. We have added 3 new countries to the existing list of 5 high-risk countries with widespread community transmission. These countries are France, Germany, and Spain. Therefore, 8 countries are in our priority list. These are China, Japan, Iran, Italy, Republic of Korea, France, and Germany.
And the U.S. President Donald Trump says the coronavirus outbreak in the United States is expected to last until the month of July or August or even longer. During a press briefing this evening, he advised residents to avoid bars, restaurants and public spaces, as well as unnecessary travel, and for the people to avoid gathering in groups of more than 10. Meanwhile, the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has called on Britons to avoid non-essential contact with each other and to avoid unnecessary travel to slow the spread of the coronavirus in the country. His announcement comes as other countries also consider stricter measures to control the spread of the disease.
Among measures announced by the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson are that people be asked to work from home where they possibly can and avoid pubs, clubs, theatres and social venues.
Now is the time for everyone to stop non-essential contact with others and to stop all unnecessary travel.
His comments come after the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced border closure to foreigners, barring all except Canadian citizens and permanent residents from entering.
We will be denying entry to Canada to people who are not Canadian citizens or permanent residents.
Meanwhile, German Chancellor Angela Merkel announced a raft of measures limiting social contact in an attempt to slow the progress of the coronavirus epidemic, but said the government would attempt to minimize the economic impact. Hospital visits would be limited to one a day, non-grocery stores would close and restaurants would have to run restricted opening hours and guarantee a minimum distance between tables. Still in Europe, Italy has reported a jump in the number of deaths of 349 in less than 24 hours, taking the total number of fatalities in the country to more than 2,100, with 28,000 confirmed cases of the coronavirus. The EU says it's considering banning all non-essential travel into the Schengen borderless travel zone by citizens of non-EU countries, but the ban would apply to citizens from the handful of EU member states that are outside the Schengen area, such as Croatia, Ireland, Cyprus or the UK. Several African governments have even enacted measures to tackle the coronavirus outbreak. Borders are being closed, like in Ghana. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa declared COVID-19 a disaster, prohibiting travel to and from Italy, Germany, China and the US, and gatherings of more than 100 people. And Kenya has also suspended travel from any country with reported coronavirus cases.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigerian international Odion Igalo battles Bruno Fernandes, Harry Maguire and Fred for Manchester United's Player of the Month award for March. And that'll be on sports. Just stay with us.